Okay. So it's official. We're now starting the Sound Art Study Group. Today is this June 16th, and it's only me and Dom today. And for today, hello, if anyone is watching this video. So today we were supposed to make a piece with non-verbal sounds and also discuss how to engage with music when it's only virtual. I prepared some stuff. I couldn't make the composition myself, but I selected some artists that does because I got sick last week, so I couldn't make it. And you, Dom, did you prepare something for today?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I will show it later on. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll also present three artists that I choose that working with sound.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So I'm also going to present three different artists. I chose, they work with sound, but they have a little bit in common that they work with trash or daily objects to make noise. First one is called Peter Valek.
So we're starting with the artist or not with the present? Also, those ones are relating to the assignment that we had, or those are just general artists that you picked?
That's from the last week. Remember that last week we had an assignment that we had to make a presentation?
Yeah.
And me and you, we couldn't present, so we can start like with this.
Okay.
And later on we can go to the discussion. And if you made like a non-verbal composition, you can also share.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Share YouTube video. Yeah. So this video here, it's from Peter Valek. He's an artist, musician, performer, and sound artist, and he lives in.
Sorry, Manuel. Will you able to text me the name of the artist?
Yes.
Here? Please.
Yes, of course. So it's Peter Valek. He lives in the Czech Republic, and his music and his artistic aesthetic is emotional and similarly intuitive. He works with electronics, electronic radios, keyboards, microphones, loudspeakers, and his experiments are kind of brutal, and they combine objects that are electronically amplified and animated. So, first one is an example that has like, I think his like circuit bending this circuit board with like the sponge, a specific sponge. Yeah, it seems to me like there are sounds from the city, with objects that we also find in the city, like trash we find in the city. That's how I see it. I thought it was really interesting. There's
Sorry. So the round shape was producing constant sound as it hit this chip or whatever. But what do you know? What's like the sound itself, the basic sound? It's changed, but I don't know according to what. But
do you see? Have you seen the sponge? How do you call this?
yeah, the round one. The
Yeah.
round-
There was the wood circle, and it was like a sponge that we used.
Yeah, that's the metal sponge. Yeah.
So yeah, the metal sponge, it conducts electricity. So when it goes on the board, on the circuit board, it kind of circuit bends the stuff and produces new sound.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand this?
Ah, I see. Okay,
So
so
when the electrons are passing by the circuits,
mhm.
and when you do another metal on it, you're interfering on the electronic circuit.
Got it. Excellent. Really nice one.
Another video from him, which is very it's a compilation of his best works, actually. I'm gonna share my screen. And yeah, I think it's very funny.
Mm-hmm. So there was just sound and one image, right?
Where do I stop sharing?
I'm just double checking if the sharing screen worked, because it was frozen on one picture.
No, then it was not correct. I'm gonna show again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not this one. Share screen.
Okay. Now it's working. Huh? Excellent. So you just made a collage, I think, of images and videos with these soundtracks, like past images and videos that combined to this sound session that he did.
Yeah, it's a compilation of his previous work.
Uh-huh.
So he makes the sounds. He has like a YouTube channel as well that he shares some like lost piano pieces, and his performances, like the object is performing as well. I'm gonna show the following video where you can see it very well, that he makes like the object become almost a thing that is performing on its own. It doesn't need even a human body to perform.
Mm.
Um, oh. This one is not working. The program is not. Oh, it is not accepting the link.
Mm.
Gonna try another one. Very nice, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I just shared it like a few weeks ago. I discovered him on Facebook, and it's quite amazing. Also, the response of people that saw it is just like you can't ignore it. It's really freaky.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Excellent. Thanks. Brilliant one.
The next thing that I'm gonna share, it's a collective slash band from Brazil. It's formed by a very non-video editor and a very non-painter. And
Sorry, what did you say? Very
non-painter. He's very how to say prestige
uh-huh.
painter. So there are three guys in this collective, and they were founded in the 90s in Rio de Janeiro, and they're called Chapa Ferro.
Okay,
Chapa Ferro.
can you write them down, please? Again here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Chapa Ferro.
Chapa Ferro.
So they combine performances, sculpture, music, and everyday objects. So they were formed in 1995 by the artist Barrão, Luiz Zerbini, and Sergio Mackler. I'm also going to cut this down for you if you want to
Thanks.
Google them individually. There you go.
Brilliant.
They use like banana materials, like refrigerator components, television parts, and other fragments of household appliances to create sculptures with a sense of humor. Luiz Zerbini is one of the most recognized Brazilian painters, and Sergio Mackler is one of the most sought-after editors of video and cinema in Brazil. Chapa Ferro is an old colloquial Portuguese term for money, and they chose this name because of how it sounds. So So it's a very, very old term because I don't even know it. Like my parents probably don't know it as well. And they made a performance that in which they destroyed a Maverick, which was a very fancy car in the 70s. And they amplified the sound of it in a very big pavilion, which was the Bienal Pavilion, which was designed by Oscar Niemeyer. It's a very famous building in Brazil, in São Paulo.
When was it? Sorry.
Pavilion da Bienal. I'm gonna write it down for you if you want to as well.
I know in which year.
So this is the performance. It's called Auto Bang. It was in the 25th biennial of São Paulo in 2002, and they kind of destroyed a Maverick, which is a very famous car in the 70s. I think it was a luxury car. And they have this attitude, like they say in one of the documentaries, that they want to do stuff without explaining why they're doing it, just because they want to do it. So I think that their performances are can be very cathartic. So they destroyed it and they amplified the sound into speakers. That's the building. You can see the architecture as well in white.
Mm-hmm.
So here at the Jungle Gem, which is this installation, there are plastic bags attached to a small motor, circular motor, that keeps turning them and making this noise that kind of sounds like leaves or something like that.
Mhm.
They made different versions of this as well.
Emanuela, the last one with the car, do you know if they put microphones attached to it, or it's just the natural sound of them destroying the car?
Well, the description I read, it says that they amplify the sound, so probably there was totally there were microphones.
Sounds logic.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Also this one. No, it's great collective.
Are
they still running, or
yeah.
So just like projects?
Yeah. And the last one I want to share, it's from Nuno Ramos. And
from who?
Nuno Ramos. I'm gonna write it down. He's also a painter, and he's everything actually. He's a writer. He got famous because he was from the 80s generation of painters in Brazil, and that was a very important movement in Brazil. And he created those paintings with candle wax. They were very thick, like I don't know, 20 centimeters thick from the canvas. And it was very funny because some people would tell that in the middle of the exhibition, some pieces of the canvas would
drop down.
Of the painting would drop down. So
nice.
And he also writes. He's also a musician. He also works with scenography and I think cinema as well. And they made this installation with a death globe, which is something we have on circus, where 2 motorcycles or even more runs into a metal globe, kind of like a cage. I don't know if that's famous in all the circus in the world, or if it's something Brazilian. I really don't know. I'm gonna share, and I'm going to translate simultaneously because he says lots of interesting stuff about his process. So the title is The Death Globe of Everything. And it's from Nuno Ramos and Eduardo Klimachowska. That's not a Brazilian name.
Eu acho que tem a ver com o título, o Globo da Morte, é um título muito impressionante, né? Tem a ver com o objeto, que é uma esfera perfeita, com um ruído horroroso, um motor, um negócio meio assim da infância. Tem a ver...
So he starts saying that the title is very impressive, and it has to do with like a perfect sphere with the terrible sound, which is the sound of the motorcycle, which is something that some people can relate to its childhood because it's something that we see in circus performances.
Tem a ver com a gente estar mais velho, fazer uma grande coleção, uma memorabilia, uma coisa assim, meio cômica. E tem a ver com...
And says that it has to do with getting older and making a big collection, because you see the installation here, it's like shelves with lots of objects and then the death globe inside of it.
And this is the artist who did the paintings?
Yeah, this one who's talking.
Yeah.
And the artwork is from them both.
Um certo desejo cômico de destruição e de...
And then he says that it has to do with a certain comic desire of destruction.
Reorganização das coisas.
And reorganization of stuff.
Quer dizer, acho que há uma comédia aqui dentro, embora haja violência também. Mas...
And he thinks that it has both comedy and violence in his work.
De tudo que eu fiz, o que eu mais me diverti, até porque eu estava com o clima e junto, enfim, só rindo mesmo. Né? A gente faz muita coisa juntos, a gente fez muito filme juntos, a gente tem várias composições, a gente compõe junto, então fazer a arte junto é uma mágica, né? Não dá
Now he's just saying that he and Eduardo, they make a lot of stuff together. Not only this artwork, but they also write together and make movies together.
para explicar por que dá certo com um, não dá com o outro. É um negócio que acontece.
Oh, you're listening to me, right? When I say,
Yes.
when I speak, okay. Just to confirm.
E pronto. Olha, toda destruição é uma chance de reorganizar.
And then he says that every destruction is a chance to organize it all again.
Nascer de novo, né? Toda tragédia tem um pouco isso. Agora, a gente aqui, essa tragédia tem um momento prévio, que é o que você está vendo aqui agora, que é uma organização meio vitrinista, meio cretina, engraçada.
And then he says that, that every destruction is a chance to build things up again. And before that moment, before that destruction moment, there is a chance of organizing everything in a vitrine. Do you know? I don't know the word. It's like, you know, when a shop has those window with the clothes. That's what a vitrine is.
Yeah, vitrine. Yeah.
Yeah, vitrine. Yeah, I don't know if that's the word in English.
Quase tudo que a gente
And then he organizes everything, like kind of comic,
tudo que a gente conseguiu pôr a mão
and everything that he was able to touch.
e botar aqui dentro. Então, primeiro a gente ordena desse jeito frágil, delicado, cheio de associações, pequenas vinganças.
And then he says that first they organize like in details, full of fragilities and
Pequenas piadas
small intimate jokes and revenges and everything attached to personal life and subjectivity.
depois a gente põe para quebrar. Quando a gente começou a pensar,
And then to put this to break afterwards.
a gente pensou em usar uma biblioteca, pensamos em comprar um arquivo.
And he's saying that first they thought about buying a library and making like a bookshelf.
E botar para cair. Tinha essas ideias mais assim imponentes. Depois achamos que nessa versão a gente deveria fazer uma coisa mais pessoal, mais associada à nossa cabeça, às nossas associações.
But then they decided to go for something more personal and more personal associations. I'm gonna jump to the work. Yeah.
Desse lado a gente colocaria tecnologia antiga e o veículo é uma lama.
Oh yeah, there's also association between old technologies, with the objects that they put on the shelves, porcelain that relates to luxury, nanking that relates to death. So they're bringing all these aspects to the artwork, and they're explaining their references.
Lá atrás a gente tem onde a gente tem copos com nanquim mesmo. Então a coleção é organizada.
That was it.
Oh my God, it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. But so it's a collaboration between the one that you wrote me and somebody else. So you wrote me just one person. No.
No. Yeah,
the painter, but there was somebody else that he collaborated with on this specific
yes,
piece, right?
it's this guy here, Eduardo Klimaszewska.
Wow, I loved it.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you choose quite. I think most of them were sort of between noise and distraction in a way.
Yeah.
So there is some kind of a statement here. I understand. Now I'll double check your work.
Yeah, I think it wasn't conscious, like the decision, but it really has to do with my work. That after I chose the artist, I was like, oh, of course I'm choosing them because it has to do with my work.
Yeah, I was when you show the last piece and they just talked. I said, and I just saw the scooter. I said, well, why did you choose to show an installation? It sounds like I didn't understand that by the sound they are going to produce this performance, and it's really, really great.
Yeah, it's the vibration, it's the sound and stuff destroying, it's everything. It's like,
Yeah, and the circus related in a way, circus of life. Wow, thank you very much, Manuela. That was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it.
thank you for watching. I'm gonna give now the time to you.
Okay, excellent. So I think if it's possible, I will start with the piece that I made for the assignment of today, and then I will. It's a 5-minute piece that I just did it this morning, and I recorded it, and so it's a video on YouTube now, and I'll show it, and then after that maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, but then I will present the 3 other artists, and I think that's about the 3 sound artists that I prepared.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if I'm able to share the screen as. Oh, yeah, I closed it for some reason. Just a second. So, Emanuela, can you read please the description of the assignment again, if it's possible?
Yeah. So today we should do a composition. We should make a composition with nonverbal sounds. And we are going to present it now. Uram is going to present it now. And the presentation must contain your process, so your choices, your references, the recording tools you used, everything you consider relevant. Your recording that must be available in a link or in a file for people to access it, and a title for your work.
Excellent. So I think I managed to put all of this in a video that I did, so you can see and watch and understand the process also. I titled the piece Uncertain Message, and I kind of like related on things, some things that I did in the past, drawing materials, working with the looper. So it's a little bit like a short sketch that I did for 4.5 minutes, I think. I'll share the screen now, if possible. Just a second. So let's see. How shall I do it? Yeah. So I'm sharing. Let me see if it's working.
Yeah, I see myself.
Yeah. So this is the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pressing.
Uncertain. Message.
Yeah. Stop sharing. Yeah. So this is it.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
I kept thinking that when, for instance, we watch a movie and we have its soundtracks and sound effects, sometimes only by this we can locate ourselves in time and space. So like if there's typewriter sound, then we know that we're in a writer's room or something like that. If there's a bomb, we're in a war or something like that. And then I felt that like when you started with the rocks, you were already setting an environment for the listener. So this is how I felt like, oh, that's an interesting sound. Like, let's see where it gets to me. But then you start looking it, and then you start with a pen. So it's like I felt you were playing with that. Like you get the listener confused because the noises they don't have like a how to say, like a logical continue line. You're composing with them, and then like we don't know where we are exactly, we don't know where the sounds are from, and you're playing with very like with daily objects that are near us, which is very interesting.
Thank you. Very really interesting for me to hear. It's actually came from like like as I said before, we are here 3 months now in a lockdown, and it's kind of like reflecting, I guess, starting to reflect on everybody. But I was thinking, well, that's why it's also like an uncertain message. Like I don't really know what I wanted to say there, but I was when I thought about the assignment and about what I want to do generally, I thought about doing this thing that I already did on a window, drawing with the pen on a window with this squeaky noise, to play with it inside here in my own house. And I was thinking about a bottle, a wine bottle. But then a few days ago, we went to the beach, and not relating at all, my son started to fill this bottle, the wine bottle that we had with those rocks. So afterward, I said, "Oh, brilliantly! Well, I'll use that, and I will write on it and use the sound of the rocks inside." So that's how it evolved. But yeah, it's kind of like it's a mini sketch, which I'm pleased with, actually.
Which sorry, as the rocks. Why did you use the rocks for in the first place?
So we went to the beach, and just to entertain our son, we gave him this bottle, and he started to fill them. It's a 100 small rocks inside there. And after that, I said, yeah, brilliantly, I will keep that bottle and I will draw with this bottle. And yeah, I extended what I was thinking about.
So you did stuff that you play with your kids to your artwork. So there was a place originally. So it's like an abstraction of your own personal and emotional memories. Then you take this and then you experiment with it. You play with it again. Is that correct?
Yes, I mostly try to a little bit, like a sketch. I was trying to play with things that I was familiar. So with the looper, and drawing on glass with a marker. But yeah, I kind of like, and it was kind of like a one take off the whole situation. So I was like, I think maybe it could have been like a little bit layered in terms of the looper or whatever, but I kind of like the idea that it's a one-off, it's on one track. I'm recording over and over, and it's becoming quite disturbing noise at the end in a way. So all mixed up. So this uncertainty or whatever is there in the message. Yeah. So that's about it. This is it, and thank you very much for this. And now I will talk. Well, there are quite a lot of many beautiful, inspiring artists that I followed and found over the years that working with sound. But what I choose for today is 3 artists that I experienced live in a performance or a show that they did here in Brighton over the years. The first one, I also recorded those 2 short videos, and I actually saw him twice. So his name is, well, I'm terrible with names, so excuse me. I will send you the name here right now. He's from Japan, and his name is Ryoji Ikeda. Ryoji Akida. He's well. I won't talk, too much about how they are doing what they are doing, those artists, or how. But I'll more talk about my experience being in this space and observing the things that they do, because all those 3 artists are really kind of incredible, I think, for me. So Ryoji is a multi-digital and is working visually, and is working on sound. He producing records and music, and also he combined it with visuality that he do. The first, can you hear me, Emanuela?
Yeah.
Okay. The first show that I saw here in Brighton, it was actually not him, but it was kind of like a movie set that he did here in the Brighton Dome, and he built he had this huge, really huge, like 6 by 6 meter screen, like very high definition screen, and we sat and on the chair and kind of like experience what he did there, not live, for about 45 minutes, and it combined sounds, and the sounds related to the visual that you saw, and overall the experience, after I left the theater, I said to a friend of mine, I felt it just like when the people that saw the first film with the train that's running towards them, and they were like, really didn't understand what's going on, and they were quite shocked and afraid that it will hit on them or so. That was my feeling from the experience I had there with the Ryoji's first work, and then at the second session that I went, it was kind of like a DJ session. So he was there in the and he gave a set with the visuality behind him. So I'm going to screen here 2 short videos that I took from there. I'll just see before I'm sharing. So. It's running. Okay, let's share it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Let's make it a little bit larger. Okay. So this one is just looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
And and the second video is more, it's very short, but it's more on the art on the screen. Yeah. So
Yes.
just a moment, stop sharing.
Yeah.
So so at this live performance, it arranged really as kind of like a DJ set. So people, he was on the stage, and there were people on, like watching him.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation was that everybody was just like kind of like hypnotized. They were really very still.
Yeah.
And that was weird to me, because it was asking for some kind of a reaction. So
It's not like a DJ in a party.
yeah,
Dancing, they're like hypnotized.
just like a DJ in the party, but everybody was just like statues, because it's so like it's the images and the music. It's a little bit epileptic in a way, and it's also very blinking.
Mhm.
So, but at some stage, I realized that I would like to experiment dancing on this sound music
Yeah.
set. And I went a little bit to the side, and I started to move to the sounds. And it was one of the best sessions of movement that I had. Really, it was so intense. Like trying to work how you move to this futuristic sound. It was really, really a good one. And
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, so this is him, Ryoji Akida. I hope I say it right. The next one, I think is Belgian, but I'm not sure, and I will write his name here. It's Martin Messier. Maybe you'll help me here with the pronunciation. Martin.
Martin Messier. I don't know. Is it French? Is it from the French part?
I think it's Belgium, but
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I'm not
Belgium
sure.
from the French part of Belgium because of his name.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
they have
so I'm stopping here. It's a short video. It's one or so. I'll just take it here. Sorry. So he's working with sound and visual also.
Mhm.
Can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I can't see what I'm sharing. Yeah. Do you see it clearly?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Okay.
So cool.
Amazing one. I know, and it was so brilliant to see it live. It really, it like it was kind of like unexpected what you hear and what you see and what he's doing and how it sounds like. Well, and the last artist that I went to a concert, she's more a composer and performer, and she and the visuality in her concerts are lack, and I hope she will develop it in the future. Her name is Susan Ciani.
No, we have the same last name.
You know her?
No.
Okay, so Susan Ciani, and she's a composer, as I said, and she's also playing on the Buchla, I think the name is, which is an instrument.
When you play music,
just a second. I have here.
You're bringing light.
The way to play.
Yeah, the Buchla, which is an instrument, I think from the 60s or the 70s, but she's talking about it. She played it. She played it back then. She stopped for a while and came back to it, and it was a really great experience. So I'm going to share the screen now, and it's I think it's 6 minutes. That's about it. So just a sec. Sharing screen. Okay.
Yep. Play this is to play it. It is a relationship. It's deep. It's organic. It has a brain. My name is Suzanne Ciani, and I am called the diva of the diode. I'm also considered a pioneer in electronic music. I grew up as a classically trained musician, although I was self-taught on the piano. My passion was classical music. I studied classical music. I got a degree in composition, a master's degree. And just at that moment, I met Don Buchla. And that changed my life completely because I was immediately, transformed and excited about this new possibility. I can't explain exactly how that happened or why it happened, but I did go to work for him after graduate school, and I helped build the machines. And then I earned enough money to have one, and then I took it to LA, and then I took it to New York, and I worked in film and television, and I used it, both to make a living, but as my artistic tool. Here I am 40 years later, playing the Buchla again. It's like riding a bicycle for me. The instrument is slightly different because the 200 was what I played in the 60s and 70s. This is the 200E, so it has a lot of the concepts that Don Buchla had in his instrument designs from the beginning, but it also has a digital component. The essence of this is that you can play it live. So it's immediate. It has an interface that allows you to interact in the moment to produce changes and compositions. So you don't have to go with a mouse through a menu. You don't, there's nothing, it's designed to be immediate and to transform your thoughts into music. And as you can see, it doesn't have any traditional interface. So a lot of electronic instruments have, they're hybrids of either keyboard instruments or maybe guitars or MIDI instruments that communicate via an interface that's more traditional. The idea with this instrument is to get away from all of that because it doesn't make sense. If I hit a key here, I can do three things. I can start a sequence, stop another, transpose something. My keyboard isn't a traditional keyboard. When you start in the beginning, you look at what each module does because they're different, So, and then after you know what each one does, then you figure out how you want them to talk to each other. And that's the patch. My fundamental givens, I call it the raw material, are my 4 sequences that are in this very compact sequencer. And from there, I put them into this external input of this unit. Usually I start with, say, the sound of the ocean, because the ocean is very important to me. But this time I started with what I thought was ski sounds. I have no idea if anybody related to it that way. And then I added a melody of a song that I'd written 40 years ago called a ski song. So it was from my very first album, 7 Waves. The 4th wave was the ski song. I improvised that melody against the, so it was something that I did especially for this place. I have particular ways of working where I double gate things, because in a performance, I don't want everything on all the time, at the same level. So I take, say, a short pulse and I then put it through a slower shaped pulse. So there's always some kind of smooth, not in your face, whatever sound.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
You liked it?
Yeah, very, very much. I'm certainly going to dig into her life. So
Yeah,
she created that instrument, is that right?
Sorry?
She created that instrument.
No.
right?
She helped this guy called Bukla to make it, but it's the instrument called Bukla. Bukle. And
Do you know how do I write it?
it's just on the, if you Google her immediately, you'll see the word Bukle. And yes, it's quite amazing to hear her improvise live on this electronic machine, or and it's really an instrument. It's like a, like a cello or a violin, and that's about it. I think my 3 artists for today, and I think we are almost finishing our.
Finishing, yeah. Well, thank you very much for your presentation.
Welcome.
I think it was very productive, even though it was only the 2 of us.
I was also with Jan when I was just only me.
So if you can share,
Sorry, I can't hear you well.
if you can share, I'm hearing myself. What is happening?
You freezed.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So if you could share all these videos on Slack for the other people. I'm going to make the record of this video as well with all the references that we talked about. And then next week, we have the talk with Julia Nagel. And if we have any time left, then we can recap the discussion of how to engage with sound when it's only virtual. Maybe that's a discussion for us to have with Julia Nagam as well, because she works with new media and stuff. And that's it for today.
please make sure that at least you, Jan, and me are in this session for next week. So yeah, so there will be few people to make this conversation with her.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this session, Emanuela. Brilliant.
See you next time.
Ciao. See you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.